The kind of problems that everybody had throughout the country with discrimination and racial issues and racial strife was just as bad in Wichita as it was in most parts of the country.
To have Mr. A. Price Woodard, to have a mayor of color, and then to have so many things named after him.
It was another step in the right direction, because that would have been unthought of, a black mayor, even a black person on the city commission.
When things become difficult, I could walk out of my office and I could see that picture. It made me proud of him. It is an opportunity for all of us, not just African Americans, but for everyone to celebrate our culture and to recognize where we were at and how far we've come. I think the more that we know about what has happened in history, whether it be Doc Obsidian, whether it be slavery, then the better we understand each other. I think Black History Month is good, but we need to celebrate it each and every day. We've come a long way, but God knows we still have a long way to go. It wasn't until I went to middle school and I was bused to Hadley, in one of the first groups that were bused. I would come home and I'd talk about different things that were going on. My grandmother started teaching me about race and things of that nature and how people were, and should be aware of these things, but, talk to me about not judging people. I remember her telling me, at no point in time did I ever think that we'd have a person of color as president of the United States. She says, I'll never see it, but one day it'll happen. She saw it. She lived to be 97, but she saw it.
The Doc Obsidian was something that happened in 1958. Segregation was just as bad in Wichita as it was in most parts of the country.
We really didn't know what to expect. We were aware of things that happened in Little Rock. We were aware of what had happened to Emmett Till. I think we were concerned what might have happened.
Our young people didn't realize it at the time. They made an impact that was nationwide, not just an impact here on Wichita. That was the first successful lunch counter sit-in in the entire country. Black history happens every day. This is a history that all of us should know and know more of. The major things that inventors have done to facilitate things happening in our society, contribution of people in business and in industry, an African-American president of these United States. But that's not just African-American history, that's all American history. African Americans have played a very significant role in the development of this country, and that should be something that is never forgotten.
To accomplish just being the first woman elected out of that district, then to become the vice mayor of the city of Wichita.
Lavonta Williams is someone that you look around the city of Wichita, you can see the things that she's touched with her being in the city council and the role that she's played.
I don't want kids to ever feel that someone has already predicted who and what you're going to be, because that's what was told to myself. All of the things that they said we couldn't were the things that I always took on my back to say I will.
Children are not taught about Robert Caldwell. He was not only a mentor, he also was mayor from 1970 to 1972 and 1975 to 1976. He and his wife taught hundreds of people how to swim because he ran the Carver swimming pool. He taught school for 39 years, first at Dunbar, our segregated school. He was a principal there as well, and then he was the first African American to teach at an integrated school at Central High. He was the first in a lot in Salina.